Expansion. March 2019. Basketball began with its invention in 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts, by Canadian physical education instructor James Naismith as a less injury-prone sport than football. Naismith was a 31-year-old graduate student when he created the indoor sport to keep athletes indoors during the winters. 1. The game became established fairly quickly and grew very popular as the 20th century progressed, first in America and then in other parts of the world. After basketball became established in American colleges, the professional game followed. The American National Basketball Association, NBA, established in 1946, grew to a multi-billion-dollar enterprise by the end of the century, and basketball became an integral part of American culture. Invention of the game. A game similar to basketball is mentioned in a 1591 book published in Frankfurt am Main, Germany, that reports on the lifestyles and customs of coastal North American residents. Wahrhaftige Konterfeitung der Wilden. 2-3. Original research? Improper synthesis? Among other things, a game of skill is described in which balls must be thrown against a target woven from twigs, mounted high on a pole in the middle of a large playing field. There is a small reward for the player if the target is being hit. 4-3. The game of basketball as it is known today was created by Dr. James Naismith in December 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts, to condition young athletes during cold months. 5. Naismith was a physical education instructor at YMCA International Training School, now known as Springfield College, in Springfield, Massachusetts. 5. Upon the request of his boss, Naismith was tasked to create an indoor sports game to help athletes keep in shape in cold weather. 1. It consisted of peach baskets and a soccer-style ball. He published 13 rules for the new game. He divided his class of 18 into 2 teams of 9 players each and set about to teach them the basics of his new game. The objective of the game was to throw the basketball into the fruit baskets nailed to the lower railing of the gym balcony. Every time a point was scored, the game was halted so the janitor could bring out a ladder and retrieve the ball. After a while, the bottoms of the fruit baskets were removed. The first public basketball game was played in Springfield, Massachusetts, on March. In delaying the game, the umpires shall call a foul on them. The umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls, and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. The referee shall be the judge of the ball and shall decide when the ball is in play, in bounds, and to which side it belongs, and shall keep the time. He shall decide when a goal has been made and keep account of the goals with any other duties that are usually performed by a referee. The time shall be 15-minute halves, with 5-minute rests between. The side making the most goals in that time shall be declared the winner. In the case of a draw, the game may, by agreement of the captains, be continued until another goal is made. On December 21, 1891, Naismith published rules for a new game using 5 basic ideas and 13 rules. 8. That day, he asked his class to play a match in the Armory Street Court, 9 versus 9, using a soccer ball and 2 peach baskets. Frank Mahan, one of his students, was not so happy. He just said, "Harumph! Another new game." 9. Someone proposed to call it Naismith Game, but he suggested, "We have a ball and a basket, why don't we call it basketball?" 10. The 18 players were John G. Thompson, Eugene S. Libby, Edwin P. Ruggles, William R. Chase T. Duncan Patton, Frank Mahan, Finley G. MacDonald, William H. Davis and Lyman Archibald, who defeated George Weller, Wilbert Carey, Ernest Hildner, Raymond Kane, Genzaburo Ishikawa, Benjamin S. French, Franklin Barnes, George Day and Henry Jelen 1-0. 11. The goal was scored by Chase. 12. There were other differences between Naismith's first idea and the game played today. The peach baskets were closed, and balls had to be retrieved manually, until a small hole was put in the bottom of the peach basket to poke the ball out using a stick. Only in 1906 were metal hoops, nets and backboards introduced. In 1894 the soccer ball was replaced by a ball Naismith contacted Spalding to make. 13. 14. Women in basketball. Shortly after, Senda Berenson, instructor of physical culture at the nearby Smith College, went to Naismith to learn more about the game. 15. Fascinated by the new sport and the values it could teach, she started to organize games with her pupils, following adjusted rules. 16. The first official women's interinstitutional game was played just 11 months later. Between the University of California and Miss Head's School, 17, in 1899, a committee was established at the Conference of Physical Training in Springfield to draw up general rules for women's basketball. Thus, the sport quickly spread throughout America's schools, colleges, and universities with uniform rules for YMCA, U.S. Army spread development. YMCA had a major role in spreading basketball throughout the United States, Canada, and the world. In 1893, Mel Rideout arranged the first European match in Paris, in Montmartre. At the same time, Bob Gailey went to Tianjin, China, 19, Duncan Patton to India, Genzaburo Ishikawa to Japan, and C. Harik to Persia, 20. The First World War broke out in 1914, and the U.S. Army started fighting in Europe in 1917. During World War I, the American Expeditionary Force took basketball wherever it went. Together with the troops, there were hundreds of physical education teachers who knew basketball. Naismith also spent 2 years with YMCA in France and the first professional league was founded in 1898. 6 teams took part in the National Basketball League, and the first champions were the Trenton Nationals, followed by the New York Wanderers, the Bristol Pile Drivers, and the Camden Electrics. The league was abandoned in 1904, 22. Then, many small championships were organized, but most of them were not as important as some teams who played for money against challengers. The original Celtics, for instance, are considered the fathers of basketball, 23, and were presented as world's basketball champions. Wink with the frown 23, the players had to sign a contract to play with them, and Jim Fury organized matches as a circus, moving daily from town to town. The Celtics became the strongest team, and their successes lasted from 1922 until 1928, when the team disbanded due to ownership problems. The original Celtics are sometimes incorrectly thought of as forebears of the current Boston Celtics of the NBA.